You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The New Normal After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The New Normal After Show.
I'm swaying today. I didn't shimmy.
Are we shimmying?
I feel like this music doesn't match how the show makes me feel, which is laughter and happiness. The thing is for doing. And we are here doing another episode of The New Normal at AfterBuzz TV here for you. This is episode 14.
Crazy.
Season 1, called Gaydar, or as Jake DuPree likes to say, Gaydar.
Gaydar. That's how they say it in Latin.
I am your host.
They don't.
I am your host, Lauren Leonelli.
Well, actually, funny thing was, you don't really know how they pronounce Latin, so it could be.
It could be.
I'm Jacque Borowski.
And here is Jacque Borowski.
A Latin expert, apparently.
Hi, I'm Jake DuPree.
And I'm Tara Johnson.
And we have the band back together.
Yes.
The band is here.
We're all back together, and we're going to talk about Gaydar, or Gaydar, as the American folks like to call it. And this episode was all about outward appearance and how people judge a vast array of different types of people on their outward appearance. I mean, it is human nature to an extent. We all do it, but some people do it a little more extreme than others. People fall into stereotypes, and this episode was very much so about that. And it opened up with Bryan wanting to, he found the perfect outfit for the birth announcement, and it was a very traditional looking gown, dressing gown. Dress. He was calling it a dressing gown, but it looked like a dress, and it was white and lacy and very feminine-esque.
It had sparkles on it.
It did have sparkles on it.
Lots of ruffles.
Now, I know back in the old-timey times, and that's a real era, by the way. Look it up. Being it, the old-timey times is real. They would dress a baby in that for like a picture or a christening. And even still sometimes I've seen dressing gowns on baby boys. Or sometimes they're like little shorts, but they look still kind of lacy and feminine-ish. But I didn't, that one was very, very girly.
That one was like extreme.
I think it was to prove a point, but. And of course, David had a little bit of a problem with it, saying that people are going to judge and say our baby is gay and that our gay is rubbing off on them. And then I think you really liked, Jake, you really liked Bryan's comeback for that one. When you said out loud, I really like that when he said, Bryan said, oh yeah, and all my parents' straightness really rubbed off on me.
That was, I think that's the best argument for gay people raising children.
Exactly.
I'm like, these straight people, they just raised a gay baby. Did their straightness rub off on them?
Exactly.
It didn't. It really didn't.
Yeah.
So, it's a good argument.
Well, what would you guys have done had your partner said, I think this is a beautiful traditional dressing gown, let's put our baby in this? If you were having a boy, would you have had a problem with it?
Absolutely. I mean, Julianne and Bill Rancic dressed their son, Duke, in this kind of similar thing, and Juliana's argument was it's Italian tradition.
It is Catholic.
Right. I would have been more concerned about people judging us for having no taste. Because...
See, it's a different reason for judgment.
It's true, but it was like a bedazzled dress, and it was like toddlers and tiaras. That's how I felt about it. Like, no.
This dress on this
particular dress.
Okay.
Yeah, it was too much. Even if for a little bit, like whomever, it was just too much.
If it was like
ruffles,
if it was like a tunic, linen fabric, something a little gender neutral, I think it would have been a lot better.
So you weren't into it either?
there's some battles that you pick and choose, and I feel like your baby's dress or gown or whatever it is one that, I don't know. I don't think that it's that big of a deal.
So you would have been fine with it?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a picture. I think it's kind of funny, too. It's so traditional looking.
It's so traditional.
Right. It's just a reminder, though, that gender differences, like, yes, there are biological differences, but a lot of those things are learned. Like, people picking out blue or pink for boys and girls, I mean, when you grow up, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Exactly.
And so and even historically, like, men wore heels in the 1700s, and now they wouldn't.
The 1700s were the actual old-timey times.
Yes.
No, but they did, and they wore wigs, and they wore makeup, and they wore ruffles, and and maybe had sex with men.
And so,
maybe.
So it's just like as time goes on, we change what clothes mean. We give it meaning, and so I liked the conclusion they come to in the end, which is like, let's give it almost like no meaning.
Right.
Right. It doesn't define who you are or what you want or where you come from or anything.
Right.
It doesn't. Although society does. I mean, it happens. I mean, people do judge you based on how you look I am not a very non-judgmental person. I'm very open-minded. Like, I try not to judge, but I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm sure subconsciously I do. Looking at something, whether it's a person or a car or a whatever, there's some sort of idea you get in your head.
I think that's just human nature.
I think to an extent, judging is human nature. And then I think, like I said, this episode was dealing with the very extreme judgments that people cast upon others based on how they look. And I will chime in on that gown, excuse me. Dressing gown.
Huge difference,
Huge difference. I would have gone, I think you're kind of right, Jake. Like, it's a picture, and maybe I'll be a little more neurotic when I have my own child and I'll be like, no, his hair is out of place or whatever. But I think it was like, pick your battles. But it was a little too sparkly for my liking.
Yeah.
A little too sparkly.
But I think, again, it's like you want to, I think it's awesome and nice, and this show kind of talks about that, to just let the person be whoever they are, and if someone's going to judge, you're going to judge, and if not, it's sort of like you can't really bother with it.
We judge, though, biologically as a form of, like, categorizing things.
Yes.
So as a way to, like, assess and build information, we do that. It's just a matter of how you ultimately check yourself or how you ultimately react to it in the end. And sometimes, unfortunately, like, the part of the point that they were making is sometimes people do come to the wrong conclusion. They're mean about it.
Yeah, I think we all, you're right. I think everyone judges. It's a subconscious thing, but it's like the next step. Are you aware enough of yourself and who you are and things around you to take the next step and go, okay, I might have thought that, but what's really going on? Or do I really have to treat that person that way? But,
or what's behind the outward appearance that lets me know what's really happening here.
Totally.
Right.
And I think that Bryan and David are very much about that, and clearly the idea of the show is as well. So, that outfit was. But they also outward appearance came into play when Jane was when she met Bryce, who. Tara, would you like to discuss this?
John Stamos. Can I just say how you've made my day in so many different ways? And the new normal is on my DVR, so you'll be making my night too.
Hey,
would you still do a pre-mullet or a pre-new haircut, John Stamos? Like first season Full House?
Oh, I'm all about a man's potential.
Okay.
I'm all about a man's potential. I can see it.
He had nice hair, and it gives you something to hold on to.
It's just a trick.
She'd take him any way she can get some.
Any way I can slice it. Know that. Thank you, John.
Know that.
Thank you, John.
John Stamos is very attractive.
Very.
Extremely, and he does not age at all. It must be all that Greek yogurt he's eating.
No, he doesn't.
Oikos.
And I do buy Oikos just to
And she eats it in hopes that he'll appear, just like in the commercials.
Exactly.
And that is false advertising, Oikos. But so John Stamos walks into, we finally get to see Nana. We've been asking for Nana.
Thank
we
God.
finally get to see Nana, and she is selling a house. And he walks in and starts judging things, and she is like, well, what? I can't flip this house. And he's like, no, it's you. We need to make you over. Right. Now, I will say it was a little hypocritical of him to judge her appearance and then snap at her later for judging him on his appearance and what she thought that meant and made him based on her insecurities throughout life. But I mean, I guess he wasn't really judging who she was, but he did have a comment to make on her appearance. And he did say that it was going to help her sell homes, meaning that maybe someone would judge her thinking that she wasn't a good enough real estate agent because she doesn't look a certain way. So, you know.
I think his came from a good-spirited place. Hers came from just wanting to be nosy and wanting to know his life.
Of course, but I mean, somebody could take offense to like being told they don't look good.
But he's introducing her to LA real estate.
And I agree, it was coming from a good place, but she could have been offended.
Oh,
and,
for sure.
and he was helping. And he ultimately, how good did Ellen Barkin
Holy
look?
Mother of
so
God.
cute.
That was really great.
So cute.
I mean, you can tell she's a gorgeous woman and ageless as well. And her outfits are always kind of just like buttoned up and Nancy Reagan, if you will. But
exactly.
that haircut is fabulous.
Yes.
And I have a little info on the haircut, and later. And then when she came in that outfit and she dropped that coat and took the scarf off, and she looked so cute in that suit. Ooh.
Yep.
And I like that they made, I mean, it was a little subtle, but they made her, she made a comment, I don't feel like a woman, but she had very short hair and she was in a suit. And I like that they made her a little more masculine.
Yeah, the pantsuit threw her off. Because Nancy Reagan didn't wear pants.
It's the antithesis of exactly what she was going for.
Exactly. She looked so good.
She looked so modern and great, yes.
And I think John Stamos kept talking about how sexy she was. And I feel like maybe there's a little romance a brewing. He has an arc on this show, so we are going to see him again.
Get off my man.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
I think we have some Justin Bartha, John Stamos.
Just saying.
Factions going on.
John Stamos is a different kind of sexy than Justin Bartha.
Who would you choose? Oh, one or the other. Which one would you choose? Uh-oh.
I don't know. Justin Bartha, I look at him, I think he's very attractive, and I feel like he'd be such a good boyfriend.
But John Stamos will give you a makeover.
John Stamos is like older, and he has a different vibe, and I don't know.
He could show you things.
I would need to, this is how, he could.
Well,
this is how I could decide.
Feeding you yogurt.
Feeding me yogurt. This is how I could decide. I'll go on a date, I'll do this for you. I'll go on a date with Justin, and I'll go on a date with John, and then I'll tell you, because I don't just judge on outward appearance, okay? I also, and you guys back me up on this one, tell me if you agree or disagree, or you can just admit you're superficial, whatever. I think someone becomes more attractive once you get to know them.
Oh, that's so true.
agree.
Or less attractive.
Or less attractive.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like a really hot guy, and you're like, oh, and then he opens his mouth, and you're like,
All that's gone.
no.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
very true.
I
Very
totally have been surprised about somebody that I've been attracted to because I was trying to be open-minded and non-judgmental, and I ended up being really attracted to this one guy in particular, and he's totally not my type at all.
And how long were you together?
We weren't ever really. Oh, it's kind of sad. Never really happened.
Sorry.
It was like a fling that died, but I am still. He is very attractive to me because he's an awesome, smart, funny person.
I like that.
And I think you just got to, if you can be open-minded enough and give people chances, don't judge a book by its cover.
There you go. And we appreciate your selflessness.
I will. So John and Justin, call me. Maybe.
Twist her arm, make her go.
Make me do it.
Go.
And also, so in the reverse side of all these characters, and Jane was being judged by the way she looked, and then she got this makeover. They were also questioning, based on appearances, Mark Consuelos' character Chris, the grip,
Right.
Because Jacque was dating him, or kind of like starting to date him.
She had a huge crush on him. She thought when he said girlfriend to her, he really meant girlfriend.
Yeah.
And also John Stamos' character Bryce, we were wondering about his sexuality as well, because I think there were a few things that he said that he knew a lot about beauty and hair products and fashion, and that threw off Jane. But also a lot of this questioning in her mind came from the fact that her ex-husband, who she was with for a very long time, was gay. She found him having sex with a man, and so she clearly has this insecurity. I think if somebody comes off a little bit feminine, she's gonna go down that road. So I think it was also coming from her past and not just. But she's a very judgmental character, Nana.
Right, but so many people, their judgments come from their own experiences.
Of course.
So that, it kind of makes sense that she's weary of any guy that she finds herself drawn to, because she said that about her ex-husband. I was drawn to him. We went to plays together. We checked out bistros together. I was so drawn to that, and I found that he wasn't really drawn to me in the same way. So, of course, she's going to be weary of someone where she has that same kind of drawing, but he talks about moisturizer.
She's more afraid of getting hurt than she is of trying to, like, we're starting to find out that a lot of her meanness and a lot of her the unkind things she says are motivated by hurt, not necessarily by her just trying to, like, peg a person down.
I think a lot of negativity that comes out in, being judgmental or whatever comes from fear. And fear is, it's either love or fear. Those are like the emotions that make us tick. And she is a very fearful woman. And so it comes out in these ways. Like, she's afraid of being hurt. She's afraid of being judged and people thinking, oh my gosh, my granddaughter's, with this gay couple and whatever. Even her granddaughter is great-granddaughter is a little bit off, and she's very just wary of everyone around her and what that makes her look like. And she is definitely a fearful character. But yeah, I mean, for sure, this ex-husband drama is like haunting her. Yeah. And maybe John Stamos's character will help her let go of that, because she talks about it often. She carries it with her, Yeah.
And he had a great line at the very end. Do you want to hold on to the way things used to be? Or do you want to change and be happy?
And maybe that's what he's ultimately going to do in the storyline for her.
I hope so. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, but she can't change so much that she's still not Nana. She has to come with the zingers and that kind of thing, Like, she can't change that much.
She has to represent the side of the population that this show is trying to open their minds up.
I mean, because middle America is like this. A lot of places are like this, where change and things that are a different, out of the norm of where they live, people don't they judge them too quickly because they don't know. And that's not saying that ignorance is to be, spoken lightly of, but it's a big issue, because ignorance is a huge thing.
It is. And I think the episode was titled Gaydar, and I definitely thought that it was very cute that Shania was like,
she has impeccable Gaydar.
Impeccable Gaydar, and it is molecular, she said.
Yes.
She just knows. And then she outed the gardener.
Oh, that was my favorite part.
That was amazing, with the screener of Les Mis.
And he was like, thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
And he's like, I use this towel to wipe my face. And she goes, okay.
Super cute.
Yeah.
And I love that she just like, yeah, what? I can just tell if someone's gay or not, like, no big deal to her. So she, of course, thinks Mark Consuelos' character is gay. He comes up to Rocky and them on the set, and she instantly is like, well, you see her face, like, oh my gosh. And then, Nana, of course, is like, well, I'm having the same problem. This guy I like at work, I don't know. They decide to have gay or not gay game night.
The gay off.
The gay off dinner party, and they go through all of these things, like name that tune and Oscar.
Right, female Oscar
winners.
And then the greatest. They always have such good comic timing, but it was so great at the end when they were doing the final tiebreaker. Like, they didn't know who was gay or who wasn't gay, so they did the sitting through the Oprah
Legends.
But even with that, Bryce couldn't stand it, but David couldn't stand it either. He was in the back like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we're watching this again. He's killing me.
And then they outwardly admitted towards the end of the show that this was all not a very good method. It was wrong to try and pigeonhole people into the stereotypes to tell what they really are, because I know that the writers are trying to keep you guessing with John Stamos. I mean, he says he's not gay, but I like that, and he's not, I guess, but I think that they like straddling that boundary of, like, he is still very feminine. I mean, some of the stuff he was saying, I don't know, and I'm a girl that likes beauty products, so I don't know. I'm like, he knows what he's talking about, very informed. I have really good gaydar. I'm just going to jump in here. And I just do. I think I'm kind of like Shania. Do you have gaydar, Jacque?
I feel like I have really good gaydar. I mean, I grew up around the theater, so like
that'll do it to you.
That'll do it.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, it was pretty much everyone around me was gay unless proven otherwise.
Okay. So. Jake,
I think I have a pretty good gaydar. I've never really been wrong, I don't think. So yeah.
Okay.
Got a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm. Spot on.
Spot on. My friend Jason is gay, and I love him. He's queenie, like. And he has no gaydar. And I think people think, oh, you're gay, you'll know. And he outwardly admits, he's like, I don't have gaydar. I don't even know. I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? I'm like, how do you not? So he is hysterical. But I think, again, it's a stereotype like, oh, Jake, you're gay. You must know.
Yeah.
Can't you just tell? It's like, no, it doesn't matter. I'm not gay, and I have gaydar. I just think it's an interesting, and I like that the term is coined, gaydar or gaydar.
Gaydar.
I love that you said gaydar.
But on the other hand, do you think that you have a good straight dar then? Because some people are a little bit ambiguous sometimes, especially living in a big city. There's sometimes a little bit.
That's a good
like
point.
the blurred line, like with John Stamos' character.
It's hard for me because I feel like I'm so open-minded. I feel like if some girl was like, I made out with a girl, I'd be like, cool. I know some girls would be like, you're a lesbian. It's like, I don't really think that. And even, I know there's a stereotype about men crossing that boundary and women crossing that boundary. And it's like women are allowed to do it and men aren't. But I don't agree with that. I think if some guy told me I made out with a guy, I would be like, and you're not gay? No, I'm not. Okay. Some guys just want to know what it's like. And maybe they're very open-minded. I think it's very rare. But I'm just saying, look at her. No, people who are listening, Jacque is staring at me like, what the hell is this girl talking about?
You a fool.
I'm not saying that I know it's more rare. I'm just saying if a guy told me, I wanted to know what it was like. I'm very open-minded, and I didn't really like it. I'm not gay. I wouldn't be like, you're gay because you tried it.
I think that's really cool that you say that. I was having this conversation recently, and this girl was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, absolutely not.
If a guy made out with a guy.
That's stupid to me. We have a caller. We have a caller.
Yay.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know how else to say, Miss Leonelli.
This is Jason.
I don't have gaydar, but as my sister would say, I was given good looks and a personality.
Jason, he's watching. This is my friend Jason. I was just talking about you, and you obviously heard.
I did.
He did. Wait, so hold on, but we need every single person on this panel says they have gaydar. You are gay, and you do not have gaydar. Do you have?
It's not. Well, it depends. If they're like walking around in like a dress, like Lady Gaga, of course, I know that they're homosexuals. But for the most part, I mean, here's the thing. You live in LA. You live up the street from each other. How many men do we see that we just stare at and go, I don't know. Like, I can't tell. He's wearing.
Well, okay, I'm not talking.
That's what I was just saying.
Here's my example. That waiter on that horrible show with the servers.
The show that I host, Vanderpump Rules.
Jake hosts that show, Jason. Watch your tongue.
Huh?
Jake DuPree, our host here, one of our other hosts, he hosts the show, the after show for Vanderpump Rules, so watch your tongue.
You can have your opinions, though. I'll let you have them.
No, I'm not going to say. What I'm saying is that he's in a relationship with a girl, and the very first time I saw him on the show, I was with a friend, and I said, he's straight?
Which one?
He was like, yes. Tom.
Oh.
That does his hair a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
he's the one who has the line who goes, the girl goes, I'm out of hairspray. He says, I'm out of hairspray, and she goes, use mine. And he goes, yours isn't the right kind. And I'm sitting there going, I'm gay, and I don't even have this question.
But that's a stereotype. That's what we're talking about. That's a stereotype.
Well, no, I would agree with that. It's a complete stereotype. But we live in LA where I feel like it's really
more
hard to
confusing
tell if somebody's gay or straight because everybody's just so pretty.
I know.
I think it's also the context you meet people in.
Yes.
There have been people that I've worked with where I'm like, I get an inkling, but it's like when you work with someone that they're going to behave a certain way in an office environment where they're, everybody's dressed nice because it's professional, but then maybe if I met them out at a bar, I would definitely know or not know. And so there's a lot of like, I think it takes time to assess someone.
It does, and there's not a lot of office jobs in LA. Like, not a lot of us work in an office, so it makes it more confusing, too. You see someone out all the time. You never see them in their, like, buttoned-up look. Jason, do you have one question for you? Do you have straight dar? I think you have straight dar.
I have complete straight dar. How many times do I go to a bar with you and go, that's yours for the night?
Yes, and see, it's a totally different thing. Well, Jason, thank you for your input, and I'm glad that you were listening to us talk about you.
I resent the cleaning comment. I'm gonna go down there.
Jason, you know I love you. And he's laughing. Thank God. All right, Jason, thank you for calling. We love you.
Love you more. Goodbye.
Bye. See, look, not everybody has. He has no gaydar and straight dar. Two separate things.
Yeah.
But you two together just must be a powerful couple to go out, a powerful pair.
You cannot get past us. We know everything about you when you. No, I'm kidding. We are fun together. Of course, we have so much fun together. But yeah, I mean, I loved at the end of this episode, of course, we're dealing with outward appearances and what that means. And they all said, you know what, scratch that. Like, none of this means anything. Raquel ended up finding out that Chris the Grip was gay. And they were still like, their relationship didn't change. She's like, we're going to go out. And he's like, mani-pedi. And she's like, girl, we're going to dinner. Calm down.
And a Mary J. Blige concert.
And a Mary J. And I love that their relationship didn't really change. She just wanted to know, and they're still going to be besties. They're still going to be friends. And then it was very cute that at the end, Bryan and David decided the baby boy is going to wear the gown and the football helmet David bought a football helmet, but he initially had a little like football jersey, and they decided to go halfsies.
I think that's great, and they say the term "confuse everyone," which I think is that's the best response to those sorts of things. It's like, you guys know who Eddie Izzard is, right?
Yes.
He's straight, and he has made a huge career out of his life being a crossdresser. And he's like, I confuse people all the time because I have like painted nails, I wear dresses. He does his whole stand-up routine like that. But he likes women. And
if he told me he met out with a guy, and he said I'm straight, I would say I believe you.
And it's like John Stamos' character, I forget.
Bryce.
He made a good point where he said these are different times now, and so hopefully we're getting past the point where we assign certain like this piece of clothing belongs to this gender. And this person has to behave a certain way because of this.
I agree.
Right.
And this show is doing that with every subject matter they have, and I think it's great.
I do too.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm really happy. I think that the times are really progressing to be something really cool. I mean, we just had President Barack Obama say in his speech that the journey's not over until gay people are treated just like everyone else.
Yeah, that was a great speech.
I mean, that's
big up.
Thank you. I mean, that's just a big statement for someone to make in such a high power position. I think it's important, and you see the trickle down effect into TV and everything. I think it's becoming more of an open thing to talk about.
Of course. I agree, and we love the new normal for that. Don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right, well, now that
although it's still bugging me though that football helmet would not fit a baby.
That football helmet, it was like a
that was decoration.
It was
like they're trying to kill their baby.
It looked like a bobblehead.
I did.
Like it being a bobblehead.
It was weird.
They're gonna position it next to the baby in the picture.
Yeah, maybe the baby will be holding it because that was the pinhead size.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
That's not gonna work.
That's not gonna work, people. All right, well, let's get into some news and gossip, shall we?
Please.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, well, the GLAAD Media Awards are right around the corner, and they just announced their nominees. The Huffington Post Gay Voices had an article, and along with Adam Lambert, Smash, Paranorman, The New Normal was one of the nominees. There's a whole bunch of different categories. The New Normal is nominated in the comedy series, and they are up against another Ryan Murphy baby, Glee. They're also up against Go On, Happy Endings, and Modern Family, of course.
Right.
And we're hoping that they win. We're hoping The New Normal takes it. And the president, I don't know, the president of GLAAD, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name correctly. Herndon Graddick. I don't know if that's how I pronounce his first name, but Mr. Graddick was quoted saying that this year's nominees enlighten and entertain, but also reflect just what we were talking about, a new American landscape where a growing majority accept and value their LGBT family, colleagues, and friends. And that's
awesome.
what all of
great.
this is
Yeah.
about. And they nominate things in different categories that they feel like represent that. And the awards are presented. They're over like a series of galas in New York and San Francisco and LA and through the months of like March, April, and May. So
Nice.
stay tuned, look out for The New Normal, and we hope you win.
Yes.
And I also have some, obviously we've seen Ellen Barkin reveal this great new haircut and look, and she tweeted today. At Serge Norman, who is her hairdresser, she said, "Thank you for Jane's new look. Anyone in the industry would recognize those Serge scissors anywhere." And then she followed it up. I think he retweeted her tweet, and then she followed it up with, credit where credit is due. My brilliant haircuts have been yours for 20 years. Thank you, my love. So if I just want to add this in here, Serge, if you're in LA and you live in LA, he works at where is it in my notes? At John Frieda. So I'm sure it's very expensive, but I looked it up on Yelp, and he's apparently very good. So if you would like Ellen Barkin's new look, go to John Frieda. And he also is known for like doing Julia Roberts and Sarah Jessica Parker. So clearly he knows what he's doing, and her haircut looks fly.
Yes, it does.
Love it.
It's amazing.
And then also I read a little article on TVGuide.com about John Stamos and how he felt about, yes, I know, brace yourself,
let me sit up straight.
brace yourself. Okay, so he was guest star as Bryce, and he has an arc, so we're going to see him again. And, you know, basically he was supposed to be there to be this, you know, ambiguous sexuality and to help talk, you know, bring that storyline along. Is he or isn't he? And either way, he and Ellen Barkin, they got a little nasty. They got a little hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit to say about that kiss. Basically, what happened during the filming was he just felt this cat and mouse thing going on between their two characters. So he pulled Ryan Murphy aside and said, "What if I just take it to the next level?" And I quote, "What if I just grab in the back of her hair and just make out?" And apparently they thought that was a good idea. So he did it, and he was trying to get a reaction out of her as an actress. And so he also decided, what's the furthest thing you can touch in the back of someone's throat? The uvula or whatever it is? I know. And I know I hit it, and she didn't even move. He purposely like shoved his tongue down her throat. He said normally he goes for the stage kiss, and this time he was like, no, I'm doing it. Because he wanted to like get a reaction out of her. I think when you're dealing with a really good actress like that, you're like, we're going for the gold here. Like
Keep her on her toes.
Keep her on her toes, and she doesn't stop until she stops. So she's just going along with it. And he said also that it was the fastest chemistry he's ever had with someone on a television show. He and her.
I like that.
So yeah,
that.
I thought they were great together. I felt the chemistry too, for sure.
Yeah.
And then also he you know, he's been seen on Nip Tuck and on Glee, and now The New Normal. And he was quoted saying, you know, of course Ellen Barkin was a draw on doing this, and he loves Ryan Murphy, but he just loves the fact that like the rules don't apply anymore, and Ryan Murphy just pushes the envelope and is challenging the traditional norms, and that's what really made him attracted to this role, that he just really wanted to be a part of that. And, you know, he even says in this article that Bryce's sexuality is not really yet to be determined. Like, it's still, you know, and he didn't want to play into any stereotypes. He just wanted to do the best he could. And I think that he did. I think he represented that really well.
Definitely.
I think he did a really good job of being who he was and not making that anything, gay or straight, just him.
Just him.
And he talked about that, and I think he did a great job. And
I have a little piece of news and gossip that you're not going to like.
Oh.
From an insider source at the place where Mr. Justin Bartha's girlfriend works.
Aw.
They
What's the
bought a house recently.
It's all right.
And they've only been dating for like 6 months.
Who does that? Justin, don't rush into this.
So
Think. Just saying.
Although when
did
John
some-
and I meet, we will buy a house in like 4 months.
That's fine because you
get your life.
you know
Okay,
what
thank
you're doing.
you. Okay, thank you.
That's all right.
So
Congratulations,
I just
Justin
had
Bartha.
to share it because I did some little snooping, but I'm sorry.
That's fine. Congratulations to you. All right, let's move into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, now that I'm in a really good mood. No, I'm kidding. I think that John Stamos and Nana are going to do the nasty.
Yes.
I think Bryce and Nana are going to do the horizontal mambo. I think that's coming up for Sheezy.
I think that Bryce might be bisexual because they keep talking about like walking these lines and everything, and we still haven't seen an actual bisexual character on the show.
Good call.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
So that means he could still have sex with Nana.
Yeah. 2 predictions.
That's
in
right.
one.
Oh, bam.
I am predicting that Rocky gets a boyfriend. I
Say
thought
it.
this was going to be her opportunity. I thought it would be cool playing on the height issue between Rocky and his character because they're
Yes.
so different heights. I think that would be funny if they were actually a relationship, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, I want to see her get a boyfriend.
I know.
And then I want Chris to be jealous of her and her boyfriend, the relationship they have, because they go to Mary J. Blige together. They do manis and petties together. And the
Yeah.
boyfriend comes in, then Chris is
What
like,
happens to the gay?
What girlfriend? What's going on?
Okay, so you predict she gets a boyfriend and Chris gets
and
jealous.
Chris, yeah, there you go. Chris is coming back.
So we think Chris is
Oh.
coming back. See, Mark Consuelos and John Stamos. That's like it sounds like a band. Mark Consuelos and John Stamos.
Or like male strippers or something.
Or male
Marco
I'll take
strippers.
that.
Stamos.
Or
I'll take that.
male strippers in a band.
There you go.
There we are.
This is how we do it at the new normal. There we go, at AfterBuzz TV. All right, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. And Jason O'Phil, thank you for calling in and giving us your gaydar insight. It's lovely. I am your host, Lauren Leonelli, and you can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and my website.
I'm Jacque Borowski. You can find me at 123Jackie_B on Twitter. I think it's the same thing on Instagram, but I don't really know.
You can find me at Jake_DuPree on Twitter and Jake DuPree on Facebook and Instagrams.
All right. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Path to Passion. There you go.
That's right. Okay, we will see you next week. Yay! Yay, Gaydar!
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.